3,
2,
1. Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Saucy Sibz Podcast.
I'm Nicodemus.
And I'm Francesca.
And we are your hosts, the Saucy Sibz. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening, no matter where you are in the world, because we are being listened to on every single continent right now besides Antarctica, but we're not sure about that because we don't have data. But like Indonesia, Palestine,
what did we just learn about? There's a country we just learned is a country. Jersey.
Jersey.
Where is it?
It's off the coast of England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learned about a new country.
Like an English territory or something, or maybe it's its own country. I'm sorry if you're in Jersey. And
thanks for listening. We see you.
Someone probably listening who's like, wow, they're really going in on New Jersey right now.
No, not New Jersey.
Like,
Old Jersey.
Old Jersey. Yeah.
Is that where it comes from?
Yeah. That has to be. Or whoever Jersey is. I'm not sure if it's about the Jersey Islands or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, yes.
You don't know that for sure?
No. Yes, no, I know it is because the New Jersey.
New Jersey comes from Jersey.
Yes. Or New Jersey and Jersey come from the same whatever Jersey is. Absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, speaking of which, do you know what Manhattan used to be called before New York?
Oh my God, no, tell me.
New Amsterdam. Like the vodka company, New Amsterdam, which is from New York. And the reason why, because the Dutch owned Manhattan before they traded it to America.
Oh. Yeah,
so the island itself is called Manhattan, but yeah.
Actually, you guys, weirdly, Nick and I are crazily good at trivia. We went to a trivia night. Actually, we went for a business meeting at a brewery, as one does.
Right.
Because we only have business meetings at bars or coffee shops.
Yeah.
Coffee shops and bars, pretty much.
Yeah.
And we didn't know it was trivia. So I was like, guess we're not working. And guys, we killed it. Except Nick didn't turn in our first 2 rounds. Sorry, we had a camera mishap. But then I was just like, is that dumb? I was like, did I just say we were good at trivia? Like, oh my God, we're so smart.
We're so good at trivia. Except
we just know, I just feel like we weirdly with trivia, because we know a lot about like very random shit. But you guys, if sports comes up, we're fucked.
We're fucked.
We are more than fucked. Like I couldn't tell you like one thing. Like
yes.
I don't know how many periods are in basketball. Is it halves? No, it sounds like I'm like pandering.
I actually don't even know.
Is it quarters?
I really couldn't tell you, but can I tell you something really funny that I just learned?
Please.
Okay, so the Colorado Rockies, it's the baseball team for Colorado.
Knew that.
Right? Okay.
Used to date the pitcher.
But, yeah.
Never been to a game.
The CR emblem.
Yeah.
I thought it was GR this entire time. So I never knew what the GR meant and why everyone in Colorado wears the GR. I thought it was like something about like Wyoming because it's like funny you see the GR because I was like,
Grand Rapids?
Something, maybe. And then I was looking at it the other day. No, because we passed the stadium. Mm-hmm. Maybe this was like 2 months ago. And I go, oh, it's not a G, it's a C. It's the Colorado Rockies. I literally... I'm really not trying to be that gay that's trying to make fun of sports and be like, oh, there he goes, just hating on sports again, just like he does with dogs.
Or like the girls are like, oh, go sports. It's like a thing now. They're like, as long as they're both having fun. Mm-hmm. Like we just didn't grow up with sports.
No, our dad, even our brother was like a sportsman. And
yeah, he played football. He played like rugby in college. My dad always played rugby. So like European sports, we know a little bit about rugby.
Well, they were athletic, but my dad wasn't watching like New Amsterdam, like, or what's
never
New
once
Zealanders
is
or whatever.
There sports on the TV around us.
No.
Grandpa sometimes puts football on Thanksgiving.
I think
exclusively.
Well, because it's good like background noise. And those are like the big games and stuff. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, I mean, it's just, and what I love that trivia is such a test of like the mind. Mm-hmm. However, it's like, you can't knock sports trivia because it is just a tried and true archetype and genre of trivia. Yeah. That being said, I literally know less than a preschooler.
Completely.
And absolutely
Nick, they said
inept.
NCAA, which like women's, we didn't know what sport that was.
No, we did. Oh.
Basketball. We figured that out because
Yeah, but we couldn't name one NCAA women's basketball. And actually, you were in the bathroom. Do you know what it was? Because we were like, we couldn't even, we don't even know a women's basketball team.
I have friends that played D1 college women's basketball, and I couldn't, my friend Malia.
Okay.
I don't remember where she went to school. I couldn't even name her school.
Well, the name of the team, that was the trivia question that won like the World Cup of the women's basketball. I don't know, whatever it was called. It was UConn. I'm sorry.
Is that University of Connecticut?
No, I think like, I don't know. I was thinking like YUKON, like the Yukon territory in Canada.
No, Nick, it's University of UConn.
I'm thinking like
Mizzou. I went to Mizzou.
Like the Yukon.
It's Missouri University.
People are like, they're making this up. No, now I feel weird.
Yukon, like the territory in Canada.
Well, I thought it was like named after it or something like that.
I don't know which one of us is right. I think
we're gonna have to Google that because actually Google it.
No.
Okay.
It's University of Connecticut. I think their colors are orange and blue. Here's what's different about us is that I have dated a lot of straight men.
I've never even met one.
Yeah. So I have been forced to like watch sports before. Of course, not women's sports because,
straight men.
Yeah. UConn, University of Connecticut.
Wow. You did know that. Huskies, UConn. I'm thinking like, wow. That's funny. Like the UConn.
What capital of Peru? That was the first question. I was like, we fucking got this in the bag. Lima.
I just feel like trivia is it's so full of trivial knowledge, but when you do answer a trivia question correctly, you just feel like the smartest bitch in town.
It makes you feel good about yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Our brother used to play trivia every week.
Yeah.
At this like tap house in St. Louis. But his friend on their team, so people used to get mad that they would show up.
Yeah.
Because his friend was like a financial engineer, physicist, like rocket science person. I know that like all those things doesn't sound right. And it's only a couple of them. But he was someone like, he's the leading foremost person in the world on like Star Wars economics.
And like Harry Potter economics, because he could just figure out with like little clues and context of what's in the story to figure out how like the economy worked of that, fantasy world. Yeah. And I've met him. Have you met him?
Yeah. I've been to trivia with him. And it's ridiculous because he knows every question. He just, I think he sees or hears something once and knows it for the rest of his life. And it would literally get annoying. People are like, oh, like they're here. Yeah. Cool. And my other brothers, like my brother and all his friends were all in med school.
So they're all smart. Yeah. Yeah. But like, it was weird. And I had heard that he would go to trivia by himself sometimes and win.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. He was just smarter. Like he just knew about these things. Yeah. Actually, you want to know something that I just learned really interesting? Mm-hmm. Okay. So my good friend, Sean, shout out Sean, he's really into Jeopardy. So whenever I'm over at his house, like we watch a lot of Jeopardy, and he told me that a lot of people that know or get into like the Jeopardy culture or the community, they read children's books and they just listen or they read children's books about every topic there is because it gives you like such a little bit of intro into that world of whatever it could be. That
makes sense. Like a kid's encyclopedia gives you what you need to know, not like an in-depth. Oh,
yeah. So you don't need to know everything. You just have to like, because like who was the first president of Uganda? I don't know, but it's like to some people that would read a children's book about, children's Ugandan history. It's like, everything you need to know as far as a trivia question. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if anybody's trying to get on Jeopardy.
Right. Children's books are really helpful. Like, I mean, when you're learning another language, you listen to or you read children's books and stuff, but.
Well, too bad my show, like the game show that I was on, because it's trivia based, it doesn't air. It won't air until September this year or May next year. And then we'll get to see. And I can even hint at if I am lying about being good at trivia and I fell on my face or if I got to prove how good I am at trivia. So
we will see.
I know I can't.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think it's like penalty by, I think they could find me like $100,000 or some shit if I give any details that could ruin the show out.
Yeah.
So it just hurts me. I'm not really like great at keeping secrets. So I'm just like going to be in pain until this airs.
I wonder if there's ever been like any Jeopardy scandals.
Oh, I'm sure.
There has to be, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You guys, Game Show Police. I told you a little bit about it. They're serious. Well, Nick, what are we drinking?
All right. Well, we told you guys last time that we have every canned cocktail under the sun in our fridge. Like our fridge, we have no food. It's just canned cocktails. It's actually kind of amazing. So right now I'm on my second IPA. This one's a hazy IPA.
But you typically don't like hazy.
I don't like hazy.
That's one thing I know about you. Like when you're not there and I order you a drink, it's either a gin and soda, a vodka soda, depending on your mood, and then an IPA, but not hazy.
Yeah, I like IPAs a lot, and I like the hops. I like the bitter, but hazy, I feel like it takes away from like the hops and the bitter, and it just kind of tastes like you're putting orange juice in my IPA. That being said, I still love it. I still really like them. I would just prefer it like non-hazy. Yeah. So I'm drinking it's called the Sky Kraken. Yeah.
We actually, so I told you at the Vail Wine Festival, they gave me all these canned cocktails. Then we went to a bar a couple days ago and someone gifted like we go into the bar to buy alcohol, and instead the bartender knows us and was like, hey Nick, all the beer reps always like drop these off and I don't want them. She gave him like a knapsack of, I don't know, 30 different kinds of beers.
Well, they were all IPAs, and her bar was like a craft cocktail bar where it's not a craft beer bar. They don't even like really do tap or anything on draft. And so it was like all these different crazy IPAs. And she was like, I hate hops. I'm tired of tasting them. I don't like them. My clientele doesn't even drink them. They come here for the canned cocktails or the cocktails. So she just sent me home with like a suitcase of all these IPAs. I was like, yes, me right now. What are you drinking?
I know. Sorry, I wanted to read the ingredients of mine. It is called Groovy Bubbly Rosé. But you guys, I still haven't drank. I'm on day 11 of not drinking. Feeling great. Actually, someone tried to buy me a shot last night without asking me, but they knew that I was like, not drinking, I'm doing good.
Right.
And then this guy was like, oh, I'll do a shot of Tito's and a shot of tequila. And I was like, yo. And he was like, I was like, who's the Tito's for? Because everyone knows I drink Tito's. And I was like, no. And he was like, oh, come on. It's just like one shot. And I was like, bro, I am out here on a fitness journey.
And he knew you weren't drinking.
Yeah. Well, okay, I don't like that people push it on you. Like,
yeah, we've talked about this before.
We've talked about it a lot. And I still think people need to let people not drink.
If someone's not drinking, support them.
Yeah.
It's like, hard enough as it is. You know
I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
I'm like choosing not to, but what if I did? And that was like my down, which it'd be you choosing to go to a bar. Like I put myself in that position.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a feeling about it. I was just like, brah, no.
Brah.
It's Breckenridge. Okay. It rubs off on you. But anyway, I typically do not like alcohol-free wine because I think it's disgusting. But a couple that I've tried. We tried one.
What the fuck was that?
You guys, I was like, oh, I'm going to try and drink it on the podcast. My mom actually met the people at a trade show. And she was like, oh my God, they were so nice. I told her you weren't drinking. And she gave us all this like alcohol removed wine.
Francesca, it was so fucking bad.
I couldn't drink it.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It's called Groovy. It's adorable. And I like that it's in a glass bottle because I'm kind of tired of cans.
I hear you on that.
I think things should be in more glass. But yeah, it's like a bubbly rosé, spring water, Chardonnay, grape juice concentrate, a little bit of natural flavors. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And some carbon dioxide for the bubbles. But it kind of just tastes like a bubbly grape juice, but it does have a little bit of a bite that kind of,
I tried it. It's nice.
It's not, you guys, I'm into
sweet and
Gruvi. I would like it behind them. Hey guys, if you want to sponsor us, I'm going to send you an email of this. Anyway, if you guys have non-alcoholic cocktails that you love, please like DM them to me.
Yeah.
Or if you're a company watching this, send them to me because I want to try them all.
I think there needs to be more of that.
So much more.
Wait, so fun. I had this like super cute, she was an older woman, maybe in her like 50s or 60s. And she goes, do you guys have any non-alcoholic beer? I said, yeah, we have O'Doul's. And she goes, fuck, what am I, a grandpa?
No one
then
wants
I was
that.
like, yeah, you're right. She was like, there are so many good, cool, fun, non-alcoholic beers and drinks out there. Like, carry more. And I was like, you're right. No, it's important to like just have options.
Options. I don't drink soda. I don't want it.
You're not gonna French. Can I get a Mountain Dew?
Ew.
I know.
Although speaking of calories, I have been replacing my wine intake with ice cream.
Which I feel like you need to get when you're not drinking, you do need to get like your kind of late night
around
sugar somewhere.
5 o'clock, like happy hour time, you start craving like a drink, but it's actually your body just craving sugar.
Right.
So that has to like level out. Obviously, you can't just like, if you stop drinking wine and then you add in a pint of ice cream a day, you're going to get fat. No one wants that. I have been eating ice cream every day though, and I'm still losing weight.
Hey.
I think it's because I just drank a lot of wine.
Yeah. I mean, I think about like the amount of times that I've like had a bottle of wine to myself, like going to bed. Not going to bed, but like when I'm like watching a show with someone or something like that, it's kind of like, ew. Like
it's like 120 calories a glass. Like you would never just eat ice cream every day and think that that's like chill. Although I don't know, I'm kind of loving this like
ice cream. So send me your favorite ice creams.
Yeah, guys, because I can eat dairy now, I guess, again. But I don't know. It's just like my new thing. I'm literally I'm just like imagining. Like I ate a whole pint yesterday. That was not okay.
You told me that it was funny because you went to Whole Foods and I was at work. And I'm surprised you didn't ask me if I needed anything from Whole Foods. Not that I'm mad. I
usually do.
I know. But you were like, oh, I got ice cream, but I ate it all.
I was going to save him half. Oh. It was so good though. It was like a gluten-free cookies and cream.
Yeah,
holy
that
fuck.
shit is fire. Like
No, you were into it too.
I know. It's so good. It was gluten-free cookies and cream too.
I know. All right, guys. Let's wait. We have to revisit last week when we told you about us getting attacked on TikTok by the 14-year-olds.
Whoo! Okay.
So we turned that clip from the last podcast into a clip for TikTok, of course.
Guys, it's been up for about 20 hours. We've already gotten 1,500 new followers from that clip. Now, that being said, it was funny. And we don't need to we were like, do we even talk about this more about like us being like old on TikTok? Because it's like, that's not our niche. I don't want people to be like, oh my God. Because there's so many like millennial TikTokers where like,
they talk about being an elder millennial.
Yeah, like, oh my God, do you like Kesha? Like, as you walk down the school hallway, like, no, that's not us.
No.
However, this shit is way too funny, just the way that kids are attacking us. And of course, like, we opened the can of worms, we reposted it. I knew it was going to get a lot of fucking followers. Not 1,500 overnight. It was wild. It's still going on. Like, as this podcast is happening, we're getting destroyed.
Destroyed. Although some people are really coming to our defense and they're like, you guys, like, this is still online bullying. And just because these creators, and I was like, oh my God, am I a creator?
We're creators.
Yes. Yeah. They're like, just because these creators can like handle it and they're like secure in themselves, they're like, you guys are being mean. So then like people are fighting in the comments, but like we screenshot this up.
Okay. Yes.
We have to
please read these. These are some of our favorites.
It's like reading our mean tweets. And this is the last we're going to talk about it. It can't be our shtick, us being old.
It's not the gag.
I'm going to make a Botox appointment. Fuck. Then I like the older people. Like this one's like, LMAO, these kids scare the fuck out of me.
I thought that was funny because it reminds me of the My Chemical Romance song. They're gonna clean up your looks with all the lies in the books.
Why does that remind you of it?
Because
these kids scare the fuck out of me.
I forgot how the lyrics go, but yeah.
Sorry. Man, this podcast is just...
They say that teenagers scared the living shit out of me. Yeah, that one.
Oh, I love that. Okay, I'm glad you made that reference for me.
Well, actually, I listened to a interview with My Chemical Romance about that song, and they were like, what's that song about? Like, why do teenagers scare you? And they were like, one time, they were somewhere where they saw a horde of teenagers just show up, and they were like smashing shit and like... And so the whole band of My Chemical Romance was just like looking at this like crazy horde of teenagers and being like, fuck, these kids are crazy.
Gen Z really is crazy though. Yeah. But I love you guys.
We love you.
No, they're all being really nice. They're like, we said we were sorry.
I know.
They're like, it's all in good fun because it's like our friends, like kind of like taking the piss with us.
I feel like we're all having fun together.
Except they really do.
Read it when someone was like, not the hip millennials are at it again. It's like,
the hip, like we're trying to be the hip like, millennials.
Yeah, Gen Z, we can handle your insults. Look at us.
Because we told in our last clip, we told our friend Corey, who was on the podcast, like, dude, welcome to Saucy Sibz TikTok. And they go, tell off-brand Freddie Mercury that he's next.
Off-brand Freddie Mercury. When I saw that comment, Francesca, I about flipped over. I literally almost like spiraled out of control.
Our fam is funnier than us, which this leads us to our next point before we go on with the comments. Do you know how all the podcasters, the people that listen, they have like something that they call themselves and
like
how they differentiate?
They're like the people who listen to those podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we listen to Giggly Squad. Shout out Paige and Hannah.
Trying to be friends with them.
And they call their listeners the Gigglers.
Yeah. Which I love. Kind of corny, kind of cute, but it's always corny.
It is corny.
It's always corny,
it's always going to be like a thing. And we were like, okay, Saucy Sibz. And then we were like, we're the Sibs. So like, are they one of our Sibs?
Like, are they like, hey, what's up, Sibs? It's the Sibs.
But we're the Sibs. So we decided it's the fam, which we know is overdone, but we'll know.
Hey, fam, we're going to see how that plays out.
Yeah, if you have a better one and you guys want to be called something else, let us know. But I had a friend, like an actual friend in real life, tell me yesterday, he was like, oh, like this and this. And I was like, how do you know about that? He was like, Francesca, I fucking listen to every episode of the Saucy Sibz. Like, I'm one of your listeners. Because we have friends who see the clips on Instagram. So like they sort of know what's going on. But like, they're like, I'm never going to fucking listen to your podcast.
Right.
Like, all right, that's fine. Like, you're not fam.
And I am okay with that.
No, it's fine. Anyone that sees this in real life, I'm kind of like, you've seen the podcast. Like, it's literally just this.
It's in person, but we
just hold microphones.
But I will say though, there have been people in my life who I will not name that are like, hey, I don't want to offend you, Nick, but I don't really listen. And I'm like, good, because I was talking about you last fucking episode, you know?
Yeah,
but
there's
because
some.
I almost I tell people I would rather you not listen.
Yeah, I'm
so flattered if you do and you do know me in real life, but like I like it when I just have my internet fans and my internet friends. And, you know,
I want to just live with my internet friends half the time, and it's like. That's why I love TikTok now, because it's just my internet friends, because too many people are on Instagram that follow me on my stuff and I get embarrassed and I feel weird. And I'm like, because since I used to food blog full time, I just had me and my gluten-free girlies, and we would just talk about the new gluten-free Oreos and shitting our pants. And it was our safe space. Like, they're just my girls.
That is gluten-free spaces. Yeah, I've just been shitting my pants a lot. Me too. Oh my God, we're friends.
But Sophia Franklin, she talks about how when she dates a guy, it is her boundary that they do not listen to the podcast.
Well, that would just make me binge the entire series.
I know, but she's like, listen, like I will talk about you, but like this is something I don't want. She was like driving in a car with a guy the other day, or the guy she's dating, and he just like put on the podcast and like started blasting it, and she like got legitimately, she was like, dude, fucking turn it off. Like, I told you I don't want you to listen to it. We're not going to drive around and listen to my voice. And
that would be super weird. Yeah.
But she was on a trip in Italy. He took her on a trip to Italy. They're in a convertible, like going down the coast. And she starts like yelling at him. And he's like what? And so he turned it off. And then later he put it back on again. And she was like, I mean, am I a crazy bitch? Like, he took me on this beautiful trip. And she's like, no, I don't want you to listen. Like, because I'm not gonna, we've decided, like, I'm just talking about shit now. I don't care. Like, don't listen if you don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah, but like, we can't incriminate ourselves. But no, I don't know. Like, you know, I had someone tell me that they didn't listen when I found out that they did to every episode. And it was one of my former employers. And I only know about this because someone else that works with him told me this and that he borrowed his phone to like play some music and saw that the whole series was
listened to. Nick, I got such secondhand embarrassment just now.
I know. So he doesn't know that I know.
You just did like a wink.
Wink. Wink, wink. But and he doesn't know that now I know. You know.
But now he might. Although it could be.
But who am I
don't know who you're
about?
talking about. I can't wait to learn.
Yeah.
But it could be like any manner of people.
We can cut it out. No, I know. I just told Francesca who it was, and we're laughing about it.
You could just leave it in and bleep it.
Nope.
But no, we're not. We're not risking
it's
it.
It's kind of funny. It's just like, I don't know. I welcome
a lot of people who openly hate me and dislike me, I know.
Listen.
They probably listen first.
Yeah, I welcome hate listens too.
Oh, they just help us.
I know.
We have someone right now attacking all of our little friends on TikTok. Yeah. And you're like, yo, this bitch is going off on all these people. I go,
Simone,
Nick,
or I think her name is
don't
Simone.
Give her platform.
Oh yeah, don't platform this bitch. But like,
yeah, but I was like, just block her. Like she's attacking our friends.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, like it gives us more comments.
I know she's been commenting and people have been commenting back, and I'm like, fucking duke it out, Sibz. Duke it out, fam.
Yeah, guys.
Wait, read some more comments.
Okay.
I love these because I woke up this morning to my 1,500 new followers, literally screaming and crying in my bedroom alone. And because they were so fucking funny, I was like, God damn. TikTok.
No, the fam, that was the point I was making. The fam is funnier than us. Like
almost.
I literally like
almost
crying, laughing so hard.
Yeah.
But also with like new followers and stuff, because you guys, you're just on the growth journey with us. I was hanging out with someone last night and I was like, hey, like, look, like this video is kind of going viral and it's like really funny. And like, I understand like people in the real world, they're like, wow, people really are out here talking about, like, they would say that we're everything that they hate about like the internet and followers and
why do people
like live in real life with fake fans. And it's like, no, like we want to be creators full time and just like create and do shit. And that's having people give a shit about your stuff, whether they like it or hate it or have something to say, is a good thing. And it is exciting.
It is exciting. And this is just the age that we live in, because how many creators are there that we have kept up with for years that don't even know that we exist? This is just the thing about the internet. I was one of those old school YouTubers back when I could, like, I was in early middle school, elementary school, actually, 2005. I was watching vlogs of random dudes on the internet that I wasn't even attracted to. I literally just sat there and listened to them.
You've always been a YouTuber.
Yeah, always. Mm-hmm. Actually, we've had a few YouTubers that I used to watch from back in the day
comment on this TikTok.
And then one followed us.
Yes.
So that was kind of exciting. One of them I actually did have a crush on for a long time. And
Nick's like sending me, he's like, Francesca, like me as like a 13-year-old, when you were the gay little 14-year-old, you're like, I had a crush on these dudes and now they're commenting on our shit.
I think it was younger than 14 though.
That's crazy.
The thing is like, and then one just followed us. You were like, oh, this guy followed us. I was like, as if I haven't been watching him on YouTube for 13 years.
That's nuts.
I know. It's kind of.
All right, wait. Where was I with the comments? The heavy pores make us age faster.
Oh my God. Like the pores at gay bars make us age faster. I thought that was so funny because it really did tie in like just how we talk about like the GBPs. How
long have you been 27?
That was a good one. I felt like absolutely attacked, but
this girl goes, Rachel, shout out Rachel. I would have passed away. And you go, like I almost did. She goes, I got attacked by a bunch of 14-year-olds on here telling me I looked like Edward Cullen. So I deleted the video entirely. Aww,
oh my God.
I looked at your page. You're beautiful. I didn't see the Edward Cullen video.
I looked at her page too. I didn't see the
I was like, cute girl. You go, I would have deleted my account and moved to Mars. She goes, honestly, I'm still processing that because that might be my next step. You screenshotted, right? I'm 27 and I thought someone also 27 was hot and they were like, daddy issues much? And I was like, you're my age. What?
I thought that was funny. Like, because imagine being like Yeah, because people have been like, wow, you're, daddy hot for 27. And I'm like, 27?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
In all fairness, I'm 42 and look younger than you.
Fucking bullshit. Whoever said that comment, show me your 42 looking ass.
I don't know what you said. I see like your response. I don't know what they said, but I just say, yes, stay at home with your babysitters.
Yeah, stay at home with your babysitters.
We're just out here fighting the 14-year-olds. Nicole goes, I too am shocked that you were 27, but nevertheless, FTK. And I was like, Nick, what's FTK mean?
Fuck them kids. One of my favorite acronyms ever. I was serving a table of like these fucking kids and I just hated them because they were like spraying ketchup everywhere. And I just said, fuck these kids. And they flipped me off because they heard me. I was like, respect. Respect.
This is why I only drink at my home. Only I can judge me. Sorry, I thought y'all were in your early 40s. Now I just think you guys are being performative.
I know, it's performative. I do look kind of old for my age, but like 40, come on. That's your stepdad.
You showed weakness. The young can smell it. Never let them know what bothers you. It's okay. They may think you look 40, but they don't know that they look 11 to us. Okay.
True. Yeah.
I'm not letting TikTok dancers hurt my feelings. People are like, that's why I just keep my mouth shut. I don't want these little kids reading me.
I'm drinking the Fremont Lush IPA. Look how gorgeous.
Oh yeah, you've been talking about that can.
Look how gorgeous that is. It's by Fremont in Seattle.
Okay.
Seattle's a big beer city for sure.
We tried to go, but then we got too cold. Okay. All right, guys. Last comment. I could take at least 6 of these gay 14-year-olds on. Send the Addy.
I love that. But I said like, I was thinking that comment is like, Addy isn't give me the Adderall because I'm going to be a keyboard warrior and fuck them up.
Yeah, no. I was like, Nick, Addy means address. He's like, yo, send me their address.
Oh, I see.
But I had a friend that I saw last night that was like, yo, I'm like at that age now. He's 28. And he was like, I could like sleep with their moms. So he's like, could you imagine? Like we just played the long game. I like go out with their mom. I come down, they're eating breakfast. And I'm like, yo, you remember the Saucy Sibz? This is for them.
This is
for getting back at you.
Honestly?
Because this friend is he likes the MILFs. He like really
MILFs are in now.
Women.
You've been hearing about like Young Gravy with the MILFs dating Addison Rae's mom and her dad getting mad at him. MILFs are in. So listen, you gay 14-year-olds.
We'll send our bros on your moms. Find you. I feel like that's like, I get so nervous now with like inciting violence.
Oh.
It's a joke, guys.
We're inciting love.
Yeah.
Free and open love.
Speaking of Addy though.
Francesca, this is news. Yeah.
I just got prescribed Adderall again. I haven't been on it since college.
I don't know why I need to like I just imagine like an applause soundtrack in the back, like, oh, Adderall.
I know. I was on it from like, I was like one of the first kids on it. Like you remember the kids in grade school. So like when I was like 6, I would have to go down to the nurse's office and like you would take it at home with breakfast. And then every time like you and the other psychotic boys in class, because I was the only girl and there was like 2 or 3 boys who started Ritalin, but there was no extended release. So you had to get called down to the nurse's office.
Yeah.
They would be like, time to take your medicine. Oop. And then at 2:00 we would go down and they'd be like, here you go. Here's some apple juice.
You took it with apple juice?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
But they had to have, I guess like a little cup of water. I don't really remember, but I took like, cause I was on Ritalin and then Adderall and then Vyvanse and then Vyvanse and Adderall, which
sounds like a good time.
Yeah. But my mom was like, because I told my mom and she was like so upset. She was like, Francesca, like, who are you getting Adderall from? Like, who are you, like, as if I'm getting it on the black market. And I was like, Mom, like a doctor.
No, Mom, I'm driving to Tijuana every weekend.
I was like, no, but I'm on like the lowest of low dose. Yo, I'm tired of like meandering around not getting shit done. Because I have like one of the worst ADHD of anyone I've ever met. Nick, how long does it take me to leave the house?
It's not even a matter of like how long. It's more of like you need assistance. You're like, Nick, can you grab that bag? And then can you heat me up some water? And it's like, Francesca, you're going to work. Do it yourself.
But I also come back inside at least 6 times.
Because you forgot like your phone, your dog, your shirt, your left shoe.
I forgot a bra yesterday at work. And then I was like, well, this is just... I was like,
free the nipple.
Think this is a little too much. They're just hanging out. And I was like, well, I'm not driving back. Yeah, because I was like, oh, I think it's in my car, and I'll check my car, and then the bra just didn't happen. But anyway, guys, Adderall's wild.
Is it working for you, do you think?
I think so. I'm going to try it out for like, do you think I'm like focusing on the wrong things?
I don't know.
I think it's helping.
You know, I wonder
I'm on such a low dose, though. I'm like, do I go higher? We'll see. The jury's out, but shit is hard to get your hands on these days because it's so abused. Yeah. So my doctor like did not want to put me on it. And I was like, I am the people that it is for.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm like, I have a history of taking it every single day for 17 years. And after I graduated from college, I was like, okay, I don't want to be on something anymore every single day. And I do think kind of like messes with your personality a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I don't love. So that's why we'll see if this even works out. But I don't know. I forgot what I was saying.
You know, I was on it for fucking that's they prescribed me Adderall. Like I was diagnosed by a doctor for ADHD, but I don't think I have it. I think I was the classic example of a rambunctious, high energy kid that had a hard time focusing in class because I would much rather be given a microphone and put on stage than like, be sitting down in a fucking classroom.
Well, Nick, actually, when my parents moved, there was this plant kind of like behind. There was a plant next to like a credenza, like a china cabinet. Mm-hmm. And I guess Nick would dump. He was actually on Focalin, if anybody knows that one.
This time I was on Focalin, yeah.
Yeah. He was stashing it in this plant every single day. When my parents moved, they found a mound of
what I would do for that mound. Yeah, because I just put it in the plant because I didn't like taking it as a kid. Now I love the shit. But no, because
he doesn't truly have ADHD. So it's like speed to him.
Yeah. It's just like, Molly, you can do it at work. Yes, sir. Right here. But like, no. So, yeah. And so I like, one, I had a hard time swallowing pills. I hated how I felt on it. And so I just stuffed it in like a plant.
Literally, it was a plant just like that. It was like,
yeah. And then, which I probably should have just, sold it. But,
you were like 12.
I was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
I'm not like doing drug deals.
But it's so funny. So for me, I went to private, all girls, Catholic school. Mm-hmm. And when I would show up, even in high school, you guys, and my teachers, if I was like, entertaining the class. Like the teacher would like walk in and I'm like doing a whole fucking sketch. Yeah. And they're like, oh, did you not take your medicine today? And I'd be like,
sketch.
No, I was like entertaining the people. And
I just imagine you with like a top hat and a cane. And the teacher walks in. I was like, all right.
It was like that. It was more like a rolly chair and like singing. And they'd be like, oh, you didn't take your medicine today? They would make me do laps around the school. Like, because at private school, they can just do that shit. So I would have to literally run laps. And then when I was worn out enough, I could come back. Or they would make me sit out. Like I wasn't allowed to be in class, not medicated. So they would just sit outside. And all my report cards, everything was just like, Francesca talks too much, always like making friends, too social, cares more about like chatting with people than she does school.
Which, fuck duh.
Yeah. It was bad. And it's so funny now because it's like, look at me now, guys. I'm making money just chatting and holding a microphone. So like everything that they didn't want me to be in school is like actually going to be like what my profession and who I should have been.
Isn't that the damn truth though? Like you have to like kill parts of yourself to like exist in like the cookie cutter version of society.
Well, and Catholic schools are even more that. It was like if you didn't fit in exactly this, like at least at public school that you went to, there was different types of kids, different places to fit in. Mm-hmm. It was also hard for me to fit in because like, you kind of just had to fit this mold of like one person.
Yeah.
And I never really did. Mom and dad wanted to send me to like a magnet school. Like a performing art. It's a magnet school is like a performing arts school.
Yeah.
So, but they all were in the inner city. And in St. Louis, it's like not very like safe in the which is terrible to like say, but St. Louis has a very big like
wealth disparity.
Yeah. And so inner city schools, it was, like literal like shootings, and they were like, we can't send you there.
If I had kids, I would definitely send them to like, I would much rather my kids learn about the world through Shakespeare plays than, other things. Because I look at like how much I've learned from theater, and I'm like, I feel like that's the true education is art and expressing yourself. And of course you need math. I get it. But like,
well, I never even had theater. And it's funny that I'm into acting now, but I came to acting late, post college.
My public school is really big in acting.
Yeah. Nick has been in theater his whole life. I've never been a theater kid, but I think if I would have grown up in that world, my whole life would be completely different. And so it was just like sports and like getting into a good college and, I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's like the update. Legal drugs. We're going to see how they work out. Big fan.
So this past weekend, we went down to Denver, and listen, I've never lived in Denver, but every time I go, I have so much fun because I live about like an hour and a half away. And we went and saw Claptone, which is one of my favorite house DJs, with Chris Lake and Fisher. And it was okay. So where was this fucking venue? Okay. Everyone was like, where are they playing? I was like, I've never heard of it. Like I don't but even know. But it said like
Western Complex. So I'm thinking it's inside. I'm going to a show. Like we're literally just driving down for the night. I'm like, okay, cool. Like fine. We haven't, but like it was literally the Western Complex Stockyards.
Stockyards.
So it's where they normally hold like the big horse shows. But it was outside, basically a construction site.
A giant construction site with like a lot of fences and rail yards and something you would, hold the horse in, It was almost, it was a literal stockyard.
And I didn't know I was going to a festival. Like not since COVID have we been to any type of festival. And which I'm not worried about all the people. I just wasn't prepared. Like
there was 12,000 people there.
12,000.
And it was huge. I was like, what?
And it was just literally outside. And people were bringing their festy girl. Like, the girls that just wear like nipple covers and like a bikini, but like
the whole
big
thing.
Platform boots. And the festy goers were out. Everyone was on a lot of drugs. And I was like, wow, like people have not. And I was just like, oh, like, this is what I'm doing tonight.
Yeah. We had a good fit on, but I didn't. Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for that.
It was full on.
Like I should have been covered head to toe in glitter kind of thing.
Yeah. Like you could get away with outfits there. You couldn't get away with anywhere else.
Well, and the stage was like.
It was huge. Why was it so big? Like,
no, it was like almost like Electric Daisy Carnival big. Like huge. It was impressive. Well, the second we showed up, we ran into one of our European friends that this stuff only happens at festivals where there's 12,000 people there and somehow you run into like the two people that you know.
I know. So we ran into our friend Boaz. Boaz is from Israel. He is ripped. He's great. We love him.
He's like this giant Israeli ripped redhead.
And and he has a thick accent. He speaks perfect English, but like very thick accent. And I just feel like I see him out only when I'm at something like that. And we just and it was so funny because we went to the porta potty. We're in line. He pretty much just turned around and he was like, Nick. And I'm like, it's fucking Boaz.
Of course.
It happens to us all the time. And he wasn't even surprised. I wasn't even surprised. It was just
just like, same wavelength. Duh.
Yeah. He was like, hi.
Festy
how
shit.
You doing? And that was the last we saw of him, I'll see you again next time.
And then in the crowd of that many people, we found our friend Lisa.
12,000 person large crowd. We're going through trying to find a good spot, and
she was right behind us. Her and her husband were like our buds for the night. And she was like, yeah, if you ever want to come stay with me in Austria. I think she's from Austria.
I think it was Austria. Yeah.
Lisa, I love you. You're great. And I'm so happy to see you. Don't 100% remember which country you hail from, but she was like, yeah, like, if you want to come to Europe and visit me. And I was like, absolutely. Yes, we will come.
But that's just kind of like the magic with like festivals and large crowds, because you're only in a sea of human energy. It's like, you have to use like your intuition and just follow your gut to find where you end up, you know? And that's kind of what I love. It's like, of course we ran into Boaz, and right after Boaz, we ran into Lisa
and those
and Brian, her husband. Yeah.
Wait, you have a crazy story though.
Okay.
This is like, okay,
Yes.
so synchronicities of knowing people in foreign countries and festivals. I think people who travel and are around those type of people, it happens to you a lot more than is really like, what's the word? Like, not the odds, but like mathematically possible for it to not have been kind of like divine.
For sure. Okay. So I was in Japan in 2018. No, this was 2017. And I was in Kyoto staying at this like guest house. So it wasn't necessarily a hostel. It was just like, it was a guest house that had like a common living space for like a kitchen. And I was with my friend Max. And there are a few times I would come home from like drinking out of the bars in Japan. And I would come home, and sometimes this guy Rupert would show up. And he was staying in the guest house too. But him and I never like really like hung out. We would just see each other coming home from the bars. And then on my last night there at that guest house, him and I kind of just like listened to music and like chilled and drank a beer, you know? Okay, fast forward to like 2 years later, I'm in England, and I'm at Boomtown, which is like the second largest music festival in England. It's the coolest festival ever. You know, it's so cool. And there's about 90,000 people at that festival. Massive, massive, massive. Like these crowds were just so big. And anyway, I'm going to see the Gorillas. So I'm like meandering through this like giant crowd. I don't know how many people that crowd was, but it's over like 30,000 people, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like meandering like through this crowd, and I bump into this guy, and I look at him and I'm like, wow, you look really familiar. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, wow, you look so familiar. He's like, oh, I've never met you, mate. And I'm like, okay. And then he's covered in glitter. He's like basically wearing like a gold Speedo. That's it. I'm like, wait, you're Rupert. And he's like, yeah, I'm Rupert. How did you know that? I was like, I've met you. He's like, you sure? And I was like, yeah. He was like, I don't know where I would have met you. And I was like, yeah, that's crazy. And so his friends were like, Rupert, come on, we're going.
So you're in England at this point.
I'm in England. And we were just like passing each other. And his friends were like, come on, Rupert, let's go. So we were just literally passing each other in like this like really big, crowd. And I just go, Rupert, Japan. And he looks at me and goes, and his eyes get like really big. And he's just like, yes. And then his friends are like, Rupert, come on. He's like, mate, I gotta go, but hope you're well. And then walks off.
I mean, that's crazy.
But like, what's so crazy about it is, what does that mean? Like, it's not like, and then we hung out for the whole night. And now we're really good friends. Like, it means nothing.
Yeah.
It was just like the craziest little kind of wink to an experience a long time ago that I was like, wow.
Just the universe winking at you. That's like what synchronicity is.
Yeah.
Just like sup. Like, you guys can't see how all of this is connected and everything is divine timing, but like, hey,
wink, there you go.
Yeah.
I think about that experience all the time just because of how strange it is.
I've
really
been on a platform before in Barcelona, and I was just sitting there waiting for my train, and I look over and I recognize this girl, and she's the younger sister of a girl that I knew from another high school, but she was like best friends with one of my best friends. So random, but like I didn't really know the younger sister. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, hey. And she was like, what? She knew of me too. And she's like, Francesca, she's like, I'm actually jumping on this train to go meet up with my sister right now. So her sister, she was studying abroad in Barcelona as well.
Yeah.
Her sister was there just for 2 days to visit her in Barcelona, and she happened to be going to meet her. So I hopped on the train with her and showed up to meet her sister, whom I know. And she's like, look who I found on the train platform. And they were like, Francesca, what are you doing here? And I was like, I love that. It's just nuts. Yeah. Like you just, I don't know. Everything's connected.
Everything is connected. And that is like such the magic of the world, and how much that's what I live for. I live for shit like that. It is so weird. And I feel like it really is. expressed and amplified more when you are in traveling in other countries and stuff.
Because you're on the wave.
Yeah.
And I think even as we sort of get more into this stuff, and sometimes like going to festivals like reminds me that everything's connected and magical and that you can get yourself back on that wave, because a lot of, I think, synchronistic, wonderful, amazing things happen when you're on vacation.
Yeah.
Because you're open to it.
Yeah.
I think that's why people fall in love on vacation. You're open to that vibe and just like wanting, you're just like welcoming things in. When in your day-to-day life, you're not just like, like welcoming stuff in and living on that wavelength, but you can live there at all times. It just takes work.
You don't go to work thinking, I hope I have an adventure and meet some crazy, awesome people today.
Yeah. And today's the best day of my life. But when you're on vacation, you're just like, wow, like this is amazing. And you like get yourself to that vibration, which is why you meet, I think a lot of people meet their best friends or their husband and things when they're on vacation.
Oh my God. I want to travel.
Dude, we like have not traveled internationally since before COVID.
Besides Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Mexico.
I was going to say, I was like, we just made it like, Mexico's cool. I got Za. She's over there just whining. She's like, okay, it's been like an hour. Is the podcast over? Because like, I'm ready to go out.
Rude.
I know. But speaking of like with our fam, Chris Lake's fans and people, his fam, they were all dressed as construction workers.
Okay, so that was like the thing. Like construction worker was the theme. The theme
is his album Under Construction. Is that why?
I don't know if that's what it was, but it was like the event was called like Under Construction.
Oh,
right.
Listen, we didn't know because we were literally at a construction site, and so you know how people play like homeless or hipster. This was like
festival goer or construction worker.
Yeah, couldn't tell.
Or security. It was the craziest thing ever. It was really kind of
like
trippy.
Hard hats and then like the reflective like vests, like the orange and green ones. Like it's like, who works here?
I know. And then like as we were driving out of the concert grounds, the stockyards, there were a whole bunch of the people like dressed in like the construction worker outfit, like smoking cigarettes, like sitting on like, you know, the lumber. And I'm like, oh wait, they didn't just get off work. They just were at the festival. It is so weird. I love that. Yeah. Under construction.
So with festivals, literally all of our friends are packing up, getting ready. They're all going to the burn.
The good old Burning Man.
Everyone and their mother is on their way to Burning Man. Not us.
Francesca and I have never been to Burning Man. No. However, we have made solid plans to go to Burning Man next year.
I feel like Burning Man's almost like doing ayahuasca. You have to like let it find you. You can't force it. I don't want to force it. I was going to go when I was like ready to go. I have the group I want to go with. Friends, I mean, if I'm going to be in a desert for 7 days, like you need planning. We need a year ahead.
Yeah. You're not just going to go raw dog it.
No.
I mean, I would.
You would, but you're a different person than me.
Yeah, totally. But I still think that like going with the group that we're going to go with, it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can't wait. So next year we're going. Put that on your calendars.
I almost went with the guy that I met in Vegas. Glad that didn't happen though.
That would have been quite the group to go with.
I heard someone died at his camp. I don't
the other day someone was asking us like what this podcast is like about, which we say all the time. I still don't know how to like describe it to people. Like nothing important, whatever we want, just us. And you said it's just a lifestyle podcast.
It's a lifestyle podcast.
So we like on purpose don't cover like all the current events. So people are like, oh, did you hear this? Or what's going on? It's like, you don't need to hear.
Are you team Amber or are you team Johnny Depp? You know?
Yeah. It's Johnny. Like, you don't need I don't want all 12 of my podcasts to each have their own little current events. So it's like, I get like another person's opinion who also doesn't know these celebrities. I mean, if it's really going on, obviously, well, there's going to be some current things that we talk about.
Yeah.
But like, sometimes people just want to listen to like a comedy fun podcast without like having to hear about the other shit. No, that's not for us.
Yeah, I agree. But Francesca, that was so eloquent. I love the way you put that. That being said, we just need to talk about something that's happening currently. And that is the House of the Dragon. The new Game of Thrones series. And, listen, I feel like the Game of Thrones was one of the best shows that has ever happened. Unfortunately, it came to a really bad ending.
They did us dirty.
They did us fucking dirty.
Nick and I at any point could just bring this up and talk about it for a couple hours.
Yeah.
The last season of Game of Thrones, what happened?
Yeah.
They just wanted it to end. They didn't care. And it was obviously they still spent a fortune on it.
Yeah.
But it was just the writing wasn't there.
But that's why the new show House of the Dragon is going to be really good, because the whole plot of House of the Dragon has already been written by George R.R. Martin, and that is coming from the book called Blood and Fire, I think is what it's called. So whereas like the first series of Game of the Thrones, it was the first 4 books were written, but then the series isn't finished, and so that it was up to the writers of the TV show to finish it. And that's once they strayed away from where George R.R. Martin went, it just went downhill. And so now Hot D, George R.R. Martin has already written the whole plot and everything like that, and they're working more closely with him. So that's why I'm so excited for it. And I don't think we're going to do like a weekly, oh my God, did you see it? But we might, because that's how much we love this shit.
We love it.
I know. And
George R.R. Martin refers to it. So House of the Dragon, it's Hot D.
Yeah, Hot D.
So maybe our Hot D segment.
Yeah. We close out every single episode with, all right, now time for our review of Hot D. No, we watched the first episode and it was really good. I think that it's just going to be some good shit.
Dude, so much CGI. They're spending money on the CGI. We got to see so many dragons.
Yeah, I know.
But you were also telling me Nick loves to go on YouTube deep dives. We know. And you said that in this series, you're not going to know who's good or who's bad kind of as you watch it. You're not like, oh, for sure they're a villain or for sure they're good.
Like an antagonist / protagonist. George R.R. Martin has already been sort of like having more complex characters where you don't really know exactly what's going on in their mind. They're so deep, but apparently that's going to be even more so with House of the Dragon. And that's what I'm really excited about, because they've already, of course you can already see like this guy might be good or this guy might be bad, but as the series progresses, it might not be like that. So I'm really excited for it.
So everybody start watching it so we can all talk about it.
I know. Because the memes are going to be insane.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Game of Thrones was ending? Just every single episode was just like, the whole week was just filled with like perfect memes on Instagram about.
No, I remember.
And then
we just sent them around to in the family group chat.
And then Jonathan Van Ness had the whole like Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How good was that? Yeah.
I had to get HBO for this.
Yeah.
This is my contribution to the family. I was like, everyone, like, this will self-destruct. Well, you guys, episode 35. We got a body of work going on here.
We do.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you on TikTok. If you do not follow us on TikTok, be our friend. Hang out. Please subscribe, leave reviews, like things. We're also on the YouTube. Instagram's dead, so I don't even give a shit.
It's like, do I even post to Instagram? Just kidding, we will.
I'm literally like, social media, mostly Instagram is my actual profession. Until this is my full-time profession. But it's like, bro, Instagram's killing itself. I can't.
It really is, man. It's kind of crazy to watch all this happen in like real time, but here we are.
And I still have so many friends that don't want to adopt TikTok. They're like, no, it's just for like stupid dances. And I'm like, you just don't understand.
It's for kids. Yeah.
Talk to me in a year. It is for kids. We found that out. But
yeah. I know someone said on it, they were like, you guys just need older followers. I was like, that is so true.
Listen, the algorithm is showing us the 14-year-olds. Like that's what it's doing.
I know.
Actually, my TikTok, like my homepage algorithm, it only shows me like self-help stuff. Like my TikTok thinks that I know I'm like really into like Abraham Hicks and the law of attraction and things like that. But TikTok must think like I'm really depressed and I need help.
I could see that. I could see why like you, but you watch those things. You love to watch like self-help. videos.
I guess, like, but that's all it is. I'm kind of like, give me some other shit.
Give me some other shit. You can just skip it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm like, listen, I'm like coming out of my depression. I'm like thriving.
You know, I don't
need this anymore.
I was on like the homeless side of TikTok for a while.
Oh.
And it was like kind of like crackhead TikTok. Like it was a little weird.
But see, you're like weirdly
into it.
I know.
Yeah. I'm like,
Nick
wow.
sometimes like we'll see a dude who's like homeless and be like, damn, he was like hot. I'm like, why? Like, why are you attracted to that? Nick likes like a little homeless.
I like a little bit of, you know,
like a missing tooth. He's into.
I love a good missing tooth.
Not I.
Not I.
I am about to get my Invisalign That's the third revision. They're giving me 14 new trays because they're not perfect yet.
14?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I've had 28 trays and I'm doing another 14. Me and my doctor got in a fight. I was like in a fight with the orthodontist the other day. By the way, he scolded me.
Yeah, you said that he was scolded you and he was like, you're not my mother.
No, I was just like, he was like, you have to wear them 22 hours a day. And I was like, that's not even possible. Do you know how often I'm eating? How much ice cream I'm consuming right now? Like, bro.
And tea.
I drink a lot of
tea
matcha.
And coffee. It stains the trays. So you gotta like take them out.
Exactly.
You can't be walking around with fucked up trays.
I'd have to be walking around with a toothbrush, you know, a little travel toothbrush you turn inside out. Mom like yelled at me. I told her, I was like, dude, my fucking doctor like scolded me. And she's like, Francesca, you need to be wearing that. I was like, not you too. Okay. You too. Listen.
Get out of here.
You told me I never had to wear them though. Like you were
I wore them Nick probably half the day.
And Nick would like skip trays.
But you are the next. Yeah, I would skip trays.
You're insane.
It was
You're not
fine.
supposed to do that. It's bad for your bones.
I know it is bad for your bones, but my teeth are fine. Look. No, I'm kidding.
I think you could pop them in.
But yeah, how would he know that?
I think I outed myself.
Oh.
I should have been like, shit's not working like it should. I wear it all day, every day.
Yeah.
If I'm ready to get these buttons off my teeth.
Yeah. I hate the buttons.
Yeah. So you guys, like the way Invisalign works, they put cemented buttons on your teeth and they move your teeth up and down because they clip into the retainers. But like the buttons always get food in them. Like I constantly have food in my teeth.
Yeah.
And then they stain. So it makes my teeth are not yellow. The buttons have been stained yellow because of all the tea and coffee.
Because it's not like enamel.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a different type
It's like cement or some
I'm
shit.
looking at your teeth a lot, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Anyway, tooth update.
Cool. Well.
All right, fam.
All right.
Thanks so much for hanging out. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
When all of our friends get back from Burning Man in 2 weeks, we have a lot of guests lined up. But until then, you just got us. So
everyone worth talking to or interviewing is at Burning Man.
Yeah, they're all cooler than us.
Cool.
All right, we love you guys.
Bye.
Peace. Chef's kiss.
Mwah.